Welcome to Whiteboard Wednesdays. These are 3 ways you're using AI the wrong way and how it's killing your sales game and hurting your comms. Now, AI is a very powerful tool, yet I've realized that a lot of us in sales, we're using it as a band-aid rather than Thor's hammer. It is a very powerful leveraging tool. Now, I think Archimedes said that if you have a long enough stick, you could leverage the entire planet Earth. And that's what we're going to discover in this video, is how you can use AI as a powerful leverage. Now, my name is Edouard Louis. I have worked nearly 2 decades in sales. I have worked around the world. I've sold high-ticket items, services, products, mid-ticket, low-ticket. I've sold to companies, small and large, Fortune 500s, all the way to your SMEs. So I think I have somewhat of an experience to teach you a thing or two. Why am I different than the rest of the videos you see on YouTube? Well, first of all, I'm not some 20-year-old kid who's just seen 1 or 2 videos on YouTube and is hitting the YouTube game by using all the social codes. I'm a grizzly veteran. I've done this now for, as I said, 2 decades. So, I have social proof of experience. Second of all, I'm still in the trenches with you guys. I'm still selling. I'm still part of a corporation out of a big division that I run. So I'm still doing the sales meeting, still doing the sit rep. So I'm not sitting on a bench trying to teach you stuff that doesn't work. It is being used, what I'm teaching you today. It's going to be used tomorrow, the day before, the day after, the week after, etc. So it's constant game. Improvement is key. And third thing, I paid it forward. It's not just working on me. It's working on other of my past colleagues. I've taught it to some kids and not teenagers, but kids that have graduated, because I mentor a couple of people. It's being used inside my firm, outside my firm, etc. And I know it works. It's worked really well, and it's going to continue working really well because we're improving them. Now, let's get into the video. Mistake number 1. You're using ChatGPT all the same way. Let me make some big Google eyes. You all look the same. I'm going to attempt to make an ear. Ooh, that's a nice ear. Up. You all sound the same. When I read cold outreach emails, companies, sales executives, they reach out to me to sell their product and services. I can tell the emails have been written by ChatGPT. Nobody sounds like that in real life. You just said, hey, here's my product, here's my service. Write me a sales email. And it's always in this 3 parts structure. You all look the same. Funny enough, if that's of interest to you, write it in the comments. I'll probably upload somewhere all those emails so that you can see yourself how you all guys look the same. That's the number 1 principle in sales. Our product and ourselves, we need to pitch different. We need to sound and look different so we stand out in the crowd. If you're asking yourself right now, Eddie, you're right, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Why is that? The answer is fairly simple. We're all hardwired the same way. We follow the principles of the path of least resistance. What does that mean? It means that the way our brain functions, we want to spend as little energy as possible in what we do every day. That's why it's called a habit. And when the AI showed up, well, it was great. It allowed us to do a lot of work for nearly no effort. So we used it. End of story. And I think Robert Cialdini says it's the rule of reciprocity, but if you put a low effort into reaching out to someone, you're going to get a low effort answer back, which is very likely to be no answer at all. Remember, in sales, there's 3 possible answers. No answer, no, piss off, or yeah, I'm interested in what you're selling, I'm interested in your products, and you're interested in your service. We all want to hear that. We all want to hear that. And if you don't put effort in differentiating yourself at outreach, by not looking the same and not sounding the same in your correspondence and your outreaches, then you're in the money, all right? Which leads me to mistake number 2. Mistake number 2, are we still following? Am I following the YouTube codes? Are you entertained? Are you not entertained? That's a Gladiator reference. You're prompting it wrong. Maybe you're an Avengers fan or an Iron Man fan, but I like to see AI just like I saw it in the movies as Jarvis. That cool PA or servant or ally of Iron Man. A lot of people, a lot of salespeople, including in my own observations, we use AI in one fashion. We ask him questions. We ask him for help. We ask him for solutions. Now, There's three things we're ignoring here when we're doing this. Number one, AI is biased. It's hard-coded that way by the people who designed it. It's not all-knowing. It's not the Oracle from the Matrix. Even that person doesn't know anything, if you remember that movie. It's constantly learns. All right, so it doesn't have the answer to everything, and yet we keep asking him the same way, the same questions, and we get the same answers. You are not using it the right way. What you should be doing, for example, that's a hot tip for you, I use ChatGPT to summarize documents, to summarize articles, to go through data, for it to give me the nuggets, the good stuff. I've actually prompted it and trained it in such a way that I tell him, I want this information in that way. This is what my job is. This is what you should be giving me. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it is a substantial leverage in analyzing all that data out there. I don't know if you've realized, but there's so much data out there, so much information. There's no way us mere mortals can digest it all. AI, when prompted, can help us turn that tide. And guess what? By having all this information, you're ahead of the game. You know, in Sun Tzu, The Art of War, preparation is key. You win the battle, you win the sales by being more prepared. If you're interested to know more about that, let me know as well in the comments. Which leads me to mistake number 3. Jesus Christ, my 3 looks like, you know, terrible. A lot of you guys, and this is basically tied up to the first 2 mistakes, and you are guys, predominantly in sales apparently, you're using it front-facing or client-facing. When you write that email, and that email gets to your prospect, that's client-facing. What you should be using AI as is as back-end. It should be in your back office. It should be doing all the high time-consuming tasks you have in your day, but low value. Here's an example, executive summaries. When I send executive summaries to my prospect and clients, I just put bullet points of what has been discussed in that meeting. I feed it to ChatGPT and he writes me a nice, crisp executive summary prompted with my own style. So it looks and sounds like Eddie wrote it and not some, you know, ChatGPT English pedantic individual. So funny how ChatGPT sounds so pedantic, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed. You need to use it to automate your low value tasks. Why is that important? Well, remember, we're in the rule of sales. The more meetings you have, the more outreaches you have, the more likely you're to make money, dinero, pesos, dirhams in our currency. So by getting rid of all the low-end tasks that take a lot of your time, you'll have more time to reach out to clients, to research them, and therefore you're gonna make more money. Which leads me to mistake number 4. It's bonus, you know, oh no, I tricked you. You're now here for another mistake that you're making. You're not being consistent with it. That's one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It's compounded interest or consistency. You use ChatGPT or any AI that you use in your trade consistently every day by learning every day and not just on a whim to do the low hanging fruits like writing your outreach emails. Over time, you'll become better at it. You'll know how to prompt it better. You'll somewhat develop an expertise in it, which is, you know, a good thing as a salesperson. But over time, if you use something better and better and better, it's the rule of expertise. Now, I want to touch upon one last thing before I finish this video. If you're like still at doubt about what I'm saying, remember, everything that happens in sales follows the principles or the laws of diminishing returns. When AI came out, the first few people that knew about it, that used it, got low efforts and a lot of results because it was novel. Prospects did not know about it, and therefore they were responding easier. But now that more and more of us are using it and we all look and sound the same in our outreaches, the returns are now diminishing. Because in the back of our brains, the prospects goes, this is written by ChatGPT. No, I don't want to answer that. You know, that guy just doesn't even know who I am as a business, or do I am an individual. Why would I answer that? So keep those 4 or 5 things in the back of your brain, put it to good work, and ask yourself, these are your homeworks, how can I prompt ChatGPT to write my outreach emails if you have to? I'd recommend not to, but if you have to look and sound different. By prompting it to sound and look like you, to operate like your business, to think like your services, to find how it can be improved, to put it preferably back-end wise, back office wise, where you're asking him to do tasks that take a lot of your time and deliver low value but take a lot of your time. And finally, use it consistently, guys. Now, I hope this helps you. And if you have any questions, fire them in the comments. And I'll see you next week for another Whiteboard Wednesdays. Peace out.